Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I have a list of stuff I would like to get done. I know not all of it's going to get done today, but I want to get a good portion of this knocked off. It's a mix of plant care and some chores and just some to-dos I would like to get done before we head out of town. I'm going to do some watering a bit later today off camera, and then I'm watering my plant room tomorrow, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to top off some plants like right before we leave, and I think that will carry me over for a week until we get back. I need an extension cord. I don't know why I don't have an extra one. I thought I did, but I don't. But the Rudsta that's in my shop room, it's not on a timer and it doesn't work with the existing outlet next to it because I have all those shop lights set up together. So I just need an extension cord to plug it into a free outlet because I have plenty of little outlet timers that I can set up on my phone real quick. So I need an extension cord. And then another thing with lights that I'm going to do is most of mine are on timers, like I said, but I think I'm going to cut the timers down just by a few hours. Most of them are on 12 hours. I think I might have some that are 10 hours, but I'm thinking to turn them down to at least 8 to 10 hours to kind of help with drying out. The plants that tend to dry out the most are the cabinet plants and the shop room especially. I need to turn those down. What I might do is turn off a row of grow lights so that there's only one light on, so that it's not like so intense. As far as like plant care goes, I have some stuff that are rehabs that I really need to take care of, and I have a bin of plants that are on this table here that are propagations that I need to either pot up or put somewhere else. I have a begonia in there that honestly needs to be repotted, but I don't know if I want to repot it before we leave. So I might just, it's a newer one, so I've had it for a few months and it's been fine. It's been in isolation, so there's no pests or anything on it, but I would like to change the substrate just so that it's in my own substrate. So the rehabs, my linearis that are over by my hoyas, the one in the UFO planter, I don't know what happened, but it's like drying. The stem is getting, I don't know if it's rotting or it got too dry, but it needs to be chopped, so I want to tackle that hopefully here today. And then the other one is my Ace of Spades Anthurium. I think the roots are gone on that. And then I have some like random stuff that shouldn't take that long, like my trailing Cebu blue here. I want to trim all the leggy vines so that chai doesn't get curious while we're gone and get into it. I need to check on the outside plants, which I'm just going to do that in my own time. I don't think any would need water, but I'll just keep an eye on them. I honestly don't know if it's going to get that cold while we're gone because I won't be able to cover them. So hopefully it doesn't get too cold. I'll have to check the forecast. I need to change the water in all of my water props. I'll do that when I water. And then I have some pollinating things I want to do. I think that's really it. The only other thing that I did already that is the first on the list here is beneficial bugs. I'm gonna go ahead and cross that off because I did that already actually a few days ago. I didn't know when they would ship, so I ordered them I think Monday, or did I order Friday the week before? I think I did. I think I ordered Friday and they shipped Monday and I got them Tuesday. So they've been on my plants for a few days already. I ordered just a few. I ordered a couple different types of mite, and then I ordered some more lace wings just so that I have some good bug activity while we're gone. Just more of like a peace of mind type of thing, because that way they can kind of get settled in the next week here and they'll kind of roam on my plants. And it's been a little bit more humid in here lately. I don't know if it's just like the warmer temps, but it's been like 60 plus in my plant room. I think it was like 70 the other day. So the mites should hopefully love that and they can just crawl around. And if there's any issues, hopefully they can take care of anything that in the lace wings. So that is my plan for everything that I want to get done, hopefully by like tomorrow. And then I can focus on packing and other stuff before we head out. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do the linearis. Let's tackle that first because that one's looking pitiful and we'll go from there. Before I show you the linearis, I just saw some lace wings crawling out. Do you see them in there? Let me open this. I put a couple in my hoyas just to have some bug activity in here. There's one at the top of that container. I don't know if it's focusing or not. Do you see them? And there was another one like down there. There was like 2 or 3 of them. Oh yeah, he's crawling on the leaf like right there. Do you see him? All right, cool. So I don't really want to disturb those guys. I'll let them do their thing. Oh, they're really hatching. Oh, look how cute they are. Little lacewing larvae. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, anyway, so this is the linearis, the one that's in the planter here. And it's all woody, like right here. Like this isn't hydrated. You see how thin this is? And this is my OG linearis. So I'm kind of upset about that. I don't know if it's like rotted in there or I let it go too dry, but this is all woody. So I'm just gonna like chop this away and try and reroot the strands. This linearis is perfectly fine. Like this one's super happy and it's so long. I mean, I propagate linearis all the time, so hopefully I can reroot it. It's just super dry and I don't know what I did though. When I had potted it in here, it didn't have like a super healthy root system. So maybe it had some like rot. It does feel pretty dry. Maybe I just forgot to water it. I don't know. I don't really want to take it out because I feel like I'm going to make a mess. I think I'd rather just reroot it because this here just doesn't look healthy and these little leaves keep falling off. They keep like, yeah, they're just crispy. I was filming another video today and so I've been talking for a little bit and I can tell like my voice is getting dry. I'm still froggy sounding, like I'm not back to my normal self, but I'm getting there. Just clean the alcohol. I hate to leave this like dangling here with just like nothing in it, but I just don't know what else to do because it's definitely, all of it's not good. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it at the base. That's so sad. All right. I think I do want to try and prop this long, like keep these long strands. Oh my gosh, there's so many leaves on the floor from this. I just have to get rid of the woody pieces. Let's see. I really don't know what happened. Yeah, there's like no sap coming out of that. So where it's like green, I'm just like cutting this onto the floor. I don't care. I have to clean it anyway. Okay, there's sap coming out of that one. And then this one, I'm gonna try and cut them at the same spot here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm wondering if I need to go a little bit further down just in case. I might do that. What I'm gonna do is cut it again. Just cutting it. And we'll pull off these leaves that are closer to the bottom. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna grab a little cup of stratum and perlite and we will hopefully be able to salvage this. It should perk up once it actually gets some moisture. Do you see the mess right there? It's all over the floor. Okay, so this is what we're working with again. That and all of this we will reroot. You know what? I'm gonna get a bigger cup, I think. This is a little too small. This is gonna fall right over because this is pretty top heavy. This one is a little bit big, but it'll be okay. I'd rather have it a little bit big and that way it'll hold moisture longer because these little ones, I think these are 3 ounces. They dry out so quickly. 3.5 ounces. And I'll fill this with water before I let this go. Okay, so I filled it with water. It's pretty full to the top, and I may top it off before we head out, but it should stay pretty moist for a week. And then this should hopefully perk up once it starts, you know, being able to take in that moisture. It should get nice and plump again, but we might lose a lot of these other leaves. We'll see how it does. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oops, there's sap. I'm gonna leave that UFO planter with the dirt in it. I'm not gonna mess with that right now because that's just gonna make make a mess. But I think what I'll do, I might just sit this on top. Let's go do that. Yeah, we'll just sit this on top so it's closer to the light, like that. We'll sit it on top of the dirt. Fingers crossed. Wish it luck. I'll see how it looks in a couple days. Hopefully it does good. Okay, so rehab the linearis, that is done. I just have to sweep up the, the mess on the floor really quick. And we do have more hoya props to pot up, but we're gonna wait on those. Let's go ahead and rehab the ace of spades because that's been bugging me and I wanna go ahead and get that knocked out so it doesn't just sit there on the table for like 10 more days. So yeah, I'll meet you over at the dining room. I don't know where my repotting mats are at the moment. It's funny how they just disappear. Well, I know one's in my plant room, but I leave that one in there. But I don't know where the other ones are. Okay, so this is the anthurium that is going downhill. I think it's just the lack of light. So I did this about 6 months ago, and this one lives on the top shelf, and it's getting like hardly any light. So I think it's just slowly withered away, and it's at a point now where you can definitely tell. It's just, there's no life to the leaves. It's just, yeah, they're just not doing good. So I'm going to take this out. I think the roots are shot. So I'm just going to rehab this. I'll have to go get some spag moss. I really liked this anthurium. It was doing so well. It used to live in my plant room. Funny enough, my IKEA cabinet, for those that remember who's been watching for a while, it used to be all anthurium when I first moved in there. I'm gonna tilt this. I'm gonna keep all this. This is my aroid mix. You can actually see where I had upsized it. It's like that's the smaller pot that it was in. Do you see that? So I like planted it in here, but it hasn't really rooted in here at all. I wonder why. These roots feel dry. I think I want to get rid of this root system. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to break that apart. Maybe just lack of moisture. Maybe this middle chunk wasn't getting hydrated because I filled it around with so much soil and I didn't want to overdo it. Maybe it's just, maybe it wants water. All right, you guys, don't get mad at me. I'm being aggressive. I'm cutting this entire root ball off right here. I actually grew this from tissue culture. It was a tiny little plantlet, and you know, one of those little baggies back in the day. It was one of my first tissue cultures I did. That was interesting. So we're gonna throw this away along with this, and there's nothing wrong with this. The leaves are coming off. I'm gonna leave one green for photosynthesis. We're getting rid of the rest. It's very limp, but I'm gonna leave this one. So that's our leaf that we're keeping, the chunk. And I'll get a cup of moss and perlite and we'll cover it with some saran wrap and we'll just stick this on the shelf in a spot where it can get a little bit more light and hopefully it'll rehab back. Here is the cup of moss and I'm just gonna loosely kind of wedge this down in here. I have a little piece of cling wrap and we'll cover this. So that's our Rehab Ace of Spades. So since we're now into Anthurium, let's go ahead and collect the pollen from the Carla hybrid, and we'll try and see what we have in the freezer to pollinate the Pally. This is the inflow that's very, very receptive. The other one, I think this one's yellowing. Yeah, this one already went through. I don't know why I didn't collect the pollen on this. Maybe it didn't really have any, but that one can actually get clipped away. I did find this Pally that I collected in October pollen, but I think I used it. I think I used it for crossing my other Pally over here because both inflows are pollinated. But I'm wondering why I stuck it back in the freezer. Maybe it has extra. Let's just see. I had a little vial in here, but I may have dumped it in the aluminum foil, but I still have a little leftover pollen on the paintbrush. So maybe we can just try and pollinate what we have because it's so drippy, it's so receptive. Let's see, I'm just opening it up and seeing. Oh, it's fresh pollen. Oh, yes. Yay. I wonder why I didn't put it in the vial. Look at all that pollen. I don't know if you can see. No, it's gonna blend in. There's so much pollen here. Oh, that's exciting. So may not need to use all this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I am going to take this inflow and the pollen that's on here and just rub this all over the aluminum foil. Let me get you closer here. And I'm just gonna take this and get all this pollen on here. Let's see. It might be easier with a paintbrush. I'm just kind of coating the inflow with it. I know this was from my bigger Pally because of how much pollen there was. If those other two inflows get berries and this one, I'll have a lot of Pallies this year, which is exciting. Okay, let's see if there's any more pollen. Okay, so that's pollinated. We can get rid of that now. And then what I do, I have a little cute little container. I keep some like tape and extra vials and little baggies in here. So because we pollinated this, I'm going to bag it so that, you know, I know that I pollinated it, and then so that pollen and stuff doesn't get all over this inflow like from another anthurium. Okay, so that's been pollinated. All right, and then we need to put a date and what we did it with. So usually I just take a piece of tape and I'm gonna write wide Pally. That's the pollen. And then today is, what's today? Today is 1/9/26. Okay, and then I just take this around the actual inflow and tape it so that it's labeled. And this other one I'm gonna go ahead and cut off since it's yellowing. Oh, I'm so glad I had that in my freezer. Okay, that one is a goner. Yay, I'm so excited. I'm excited if I have a lot of Pally this year. I'm excited for the self one because that'll be a wide one. And then I'm curious what the wide narrow is going to look like, because this one, the mother plant is narrow and I crossed it with wide, and over there the mother plant's wide and I crossed it with narrow. So I'll have all these variants. I'm excited. And of course I'll have to keep some babies back for me, but I don't need any because I have two Pallies. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited. It's fun to cross. It's fun to like create your own little hybrid and everything. And that's why I got so into Anthurium earlier this year. But then I had to like pull the reins back. I'm like, okay, getting out of hand. Yeah, so this just goes in the trash. This is all the pollen that's used. And so I'm gonna get a new Ziploc baggie and a new paintbrush, and we'll do the Carla hybrid. All right, different angle. I have aluminum foil. I like to collect the pollen on here, and then I'll put it into a little vial and put this in a Ziploc bag and stick it in my freezer. Okay, and so I have a clean paintbrush, and this will be the dedicated paintbrush that I use. And we're just going to get all that pollen off. Yeah, Luna. I would love to cross this with the Black Widow if it would take. I wonder what kind of veiny hybrid that would look like. But my Black Widow hasn't pollinated yet, or hasn't had an inflow yet. Or has it? Maybe it's had one and I cut it away. I usually cut the very first one away that the plant produces. I feel like that's a good amount of pollen. But this one here is the second inflow, and this is definitely a good amount of pollen. The first inflow I remember there was hardly anything. Whoa. If there's more pollen that happens to come in the next few days, I might try and collect a little bit more. Ooh, or King of Spades. I think that would be a cool cross too. My King of Spades actually has its first inflow, so I don't want to try it. I feel like the first one, or should I try it? Maybe I could take a little bit of this pollen and try it. Okay, so there's all the pollen dust. And then I just kind of okay, and I'm going to carefully slide this into a vial without spilling it. That's a decent amount of pollen, I feel like, from that. Do you see? Let me close this, and then let me see if there's any more. And just kind of flick off. There's a little bit more in here, but I'm just going to leave that in the foil. And then what I'm going to do is I usually just close this up. And then put it in a new baggie. I put that in the baggie, and then the vial. Kind of get all the air out. And then I will label this. So this is a PAP GY and a NSE Carla. And it is one, is it 9 or 8? 9. 26. Okay. So I just label the bag like that, and then we'll stick this in our freezer. So I'm gonna save this. I would love to do either the King of Spades or the Black Widow. I don't know if this would, I don't know if they're compatible, but I would love to try it. And see, but yeah, a lot of my anthuriums I got this year, so they're just not mature enough. A lot of them have produced like their first inflow now, like some of these that have gotten big. but I would like to get more. I actually have a Delta Force right down here, a Delta Force inflow that I could take pollen to. There's a little bit of pollen. I'm not going to worry about that one. I think it's ending soon. Yeah, if the King of Spades goes receptive before we leave, I might try just using a little bit of that pollen, just a little, and see if it would take or not, because again, it's the first inflow on the King of Spades, so I'm not sure. Technically the King of Spades was an import and it was mature, so it could have had an inflow already. Okay, let's go ahead and trim the Cebu blue because it's over here, and that will be super quick. It'll take no time at all, so we'll get that done. Okay, she is right here, and I gave her a good hose off and drink. It's been over a week now. I'm probably going to, I might wait a few more days and then I'll water this plant. I can already see a couple spots where Chai has tried to nibble. Chai is the only one that gets curious with plants, but not often, and it's not all plants. It's just if there's a leggy pothos. I used to have a marble queen here, and he would get into the marble queen so much. It drove me crazy, so I moved it to the bedroom on a higher shelf so he can't get into it. But I just don't want him getting into it. So it's got a couple really long leggy vines. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those. And I'm not going to propagate these at all, the leggy vines. I'm just gonna toss them. I'm just trimming, pruning it back. So we'll do this one. And I'm gonna do this one. And we'll do this one too. This one's a little bit. There, he can't really get up here and reach that side. Let's see, this one's a little bit long. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one. And I think that's good. See, that took like no time at all. It's just like little tasks I just wanted to get done, and it's nice getting some of these done. Even though I have a few leaves, I mean, I could propagate this, but because we're leaving soon, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll take some props and propagate her in the future, but yeah, this is just going to go in the trash. Guess who we have that came to join us? And I found a potting mat. It was in front of my face the whole time. Okay, this here. So I want to take care of all these because these grow lights, the timer option on it won't work. Even though it has a timer like for 12 hours or whatever, it just doesn't come on automatically. I think these are from a seedling tray kit that I had, and they get super freaking hot. But everything in here has been quarantining. This is like my new plant area, and I haven't bought a new plant since Black Friday, which is exciting. But I have mostly Hoya in here, and then this begonia I've had for like 3 months. I don't think I've really shared it with you guys yet. It was one that I was wanting to get. It's definitely all the way dry. I need to repot it and water it. I do think I want to repot it though, just because it's not my mix, and I would like to take a look at the root system a little bit more closely, but it's put out a ton of new leaves. This is it's a variegated one. I'll put it on the screen, but I can't remember the name of it. So this one is like a rhizome begonia, and there's a couple, I think there's 2 different rhizome things. So I'm not used to these type of begonias. I'm used to cane begonias, so this is like a newer one for me. It's been doing well since I had it. It's put out like non-variegated leaves, and then these are new, like these 2 here, and they're pretty variegated. Like they're like that, and there's some that even look more white. I've been checking to make sure it doesn't have pests. I might clip some of these older ones away. And it looks like it's just in a soil mix. This is exactly how it came. So once I break down that terrarium in my plant room, that shelf I mentioned is going to be a begonia shelf, and that will be on there. But I'm excited to have a little shelf of just begonia. I think repotting this now, I think it'll be fine, because I'll be able to check on it one more time before we're actually leaving. Okay, I just grabbed a scoop of my shop mix there. And then I'm gonna dump the old soil in here. And then I'm just gonna go up to a 4-inch. I had this already washed out, so I'm just gonna use this. I have some shears here. I cannot wait to get rid of this table set. That is a goal of mine this year, is to find something to replace this, because I hate this table. All right. All right. Dang, this is like mostly roots, I would say. Looks like it was top dressed with the little moss. Yeah, we'll just loosen it a bit. And then maybe I can peel off some of this moss on top. And then this bottom leaf, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm not keeping any of these bottom leaves. I mean, I'm not saving them. I'm excited to have this one though. It's like a different growing style. And plus I think the leaves are so cute. I love the variegation on it. I think they're so cute when they come in too. I'm glad that I have two sections. I could easily split this into two plants. Oh yeah, this one's ugly. I'm gonna get rid of this leaf. I actually think this is the one that's doing low variegation, this one over here, and this one's doing the high variegation. That's okay, I'll keep them together. Okay, it does have moss mixed in, but I'm just gonna leave it. I don't wanna stress it too much. And like I said, it's been in isolation for like 3 months. Okay, so we're gonna add a little on the bottom. And this is mostly tree fern, cocoa coir, perlite. There's bark and charcoal. It definitely holds moisture for longer, especially compared to my aeroid mix, but it really just depends because this mix can still dry out quickly in my hot rooms. So with these kind of begonias, I'm gonna have to look it up. So you can prop them, you need a piece of the rhizome or you don't. I always forget. I think you can just do leaf propagation, right? I don't know. It's been in this little prop box, so it has gotten a little bit more humidity, so I'm wondering how it's going to like my plant room conditions. I mean, right now it has been more humid, so I'm not worried about it while we're gone, but I'm wondering if it's gonna like the warmer temps and stuff over there, especially once summer gets here. It's gonna have to be okay with 40–50% humidity. That's usually the lowest it gets. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that and the way that it's looking. It's definitely a little thirsty. She's cute, right? I'll be anxious to prop her for the first time. I'm gonna let her grow though, especially now that some of her newer leaves are pretty variegated. I'm gonna hold off, I think, on propping. Unless like one of these older leaves here at the bottom, I might try propping one of those. She's really cute. All right, I'll take her to the sink. And I've already been giving it my nutrients, so I'm gonna water through some nutrients. Look how pretty the new leaves come in. It's like pink on the back side. It's so cute. Oh, I love her. She's gonna look so pretty in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave that tilted to drain for a bit, and then we'll get her in my plant room. The new Begonia Repot is done. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for part 1 for this video. So I'll go ahead and get started on the rest of this stuff for the next video. So in a few days, check back for part 2 and we'll continue on with the list. But thank you so much for joining me for part 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was so nice getting some of these tasks checked off and everything, so it feels good. I need to do lists more often. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you in a few days.